Test, test, check 1, 2. You know you need unique New York. You know you need unique New York. Does that sound all right? Ah, that's better. You can always tell something's missing when you get isolated results, like AI that's only right for one of your systems. Get AI that can work across your data and applications. Learn more at IBM.com. The AI built for business. IBM.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
You are a superhero and you have legitimate superpowers that you could use to shift reality. You don't understand how powerful you actually are because you're stuck in the trap of life. It's so easy to get stuck facing what's in front of us. Bills, reality of situations, eating, shelter, like all these things that turn into a to-do list that we wake up and face every single day take us away from our true self and our true abilities. My name is Henry Lawrence. Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about one of the superpowers that you have within you, that if you tune into, if you actually take back your control of, you can change the fabric of your experience. And make sure to listen all the way through, because at the very end, we're going to take a deep, healing, meditative breath to help us align on this message and move forward throughout the day. Now remember, we are the rising tide. We are here to lift others. So if there's something impactful in this episode, something that gives you a different perspective, a different shift, a different energy, leave a comment or like this video or even share it with somebody. Somebody can see that you liked it. If they receive it from you in sharing or they read your comment, it might inspire them to know that they can do something about their reality too. They can listen, we can grow together and continue to expand. So this superpower, you have many of them, but the one that I am most focused on right now is gratitude. So over the weekend, it was my brother's wedding. So he was getting married and I was his best man. So I had to spend time preparing a speech. And this is something that I had never done before. I'd never spent time writing a speech about somebody to this degree. Maybe at work or things like that, I've congratulated or things like that, but nothing that had this level of importance or impact on someone's life. And so I spent time reflecting, thinking about our childhood growing up together, and then thinking about the highlights, the things that would be great to share in front of everybody. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, like, how great my brother is. It's coming to me like all these great things, the support and all this that I just don't pay attention to every single day because I'm living life. And so as I'm doing this, as I'm reading this energy and this love is starting to be created within me, a warmth, a joy. And then when I did this speech, I was able to give that to not only him, but to everybody else that was there. Now, obviously, speaking is one of the things that I do and I enjoy doing, and it's a part of like my abilities and what I like to do, but you could have your own. But the point is the gratitude part. I connected to something that brought so much love within me. I was able to then give it to him and then give it to the room. And if you're wondering how this is a superpower, what it does, love is an energy source. When you tap into it, it charges up your internal energy. It's not just about the physical body's energy. It's not just about the mind's energy. It's your actual spirit within you. And so when you start doing this about things, your spirit starts to rise. As your spirit rises, your ability to see long term, to see the good, to see why what it is you're sticking to, what it is you're doing is actually good for all those around you. It propels you like fuel in a rocket. And so when you take something that you're looking to do, maybe it's you want to build a business, you want to get married, you want to create a life, you want to get in shape. And if you treat that as if it's a speech that you have to write with that, you will tap into a power that you are not recognizing you have. You may hear about gratitude for Thanksgiving and saying what you're thankful for. That's not it. You and your perception plugs you into energy. So when you start practicing gratitude, which is finding the energy that lights you up the most, you are actually plugging in your source into another frequency. And when you use gratitude properly, you plug your source into the highest love. And this is where it becomes so powerful, because if you get to the point where you can talk about the things that you love just as highly as then you can talk about the things that you hate, the things that are difficult, the things that are wearing you down, when you get to that level, you can find the most powerful diamond of energy, right? Think about the version of you that can go through the most toughest situations, suffer loss, heartache, pain. Think of that person. If they can go through that and find love in it, find something to be thankful for, just as you could for the thing that was the best thing that happened to you, imagine how powerful that person will be in any moment. This is how you separate yourself from a controlled reality by a group consciousness and put yourself into your own reality that you get to dictate. Then it no longer matters what the world is doing or what your external environment is. It will always be that of which you're able to connect to. A superpower that controls your inner being, that controls your inner state. And so once you do that, you allow the law of attraction to do what it's already doing now, which is giving the life which is attracted to you and you are attracted to. When you do that, you actually change your energy within you. Then the magnetic that you were attached to fades and the new one comes in. Now, the why this is a practice and why this is something that you have to work through and not just receive. Think about these magnets. There's the lower level and the higher level, and then there's you. Let's align you with that lower level, right? This is connected, and you want to change. You no longer want to be attached to brokenness. You no longer want to be attached to pain. You no longer want to be attached to loss. Whatever it is, you're trying to switch. When you start changing this frequency, the magnetic change. This exists because of you. Your source, this is what we're observing. So when we're attached to it, it is alive. It is existing. It wants to stay that way because you gave it the existence. When you start changing, this pull on you is going to pull. The new one's going to come up, but it's got to lift you up and you have to lift yourself up. The old one is pulling you down. That old attachment is pulling you down. Now think, this is something a superhero would face. Think about this reality of what we're talking about. Someone that is shifting the energy within themselves, and then the universe around them that they are experiencing morphs into something different. That is a superhero. So you cannot keep walking around like you're just some regular animal, some regular just human, and start viewing yourself as something so much more. When you can do that, when you can actually believe that you're more, you can actually receive more. There's no more resistance in that. But as you're shifting, as you're pulling up, this lower frequency is going to pull on you. That's a hero's journey. The hero's journey is completing that transformation and then the reality matching. Now, it's not two magnets moving. It's things getting difficult at work. It's an unexpected bill. It's an injury. It's a health situation. It's a loss. Right? It's a reality of something happening in the physical world, but behind the scenes, the law of attraction is pulling these different realities. And so you hit that resistance. That resistance is going to force you to either become the next thing, meaning if you are saying that you are going to be wealthy, you're going to build up your money energy, all your current money may leave at first. It leaves, that's the resistance, because if you quit doing what you were doing when it left, that small money will come back because you'll go down against the resistance. But if you pursue the thought pattern and the habits and the way of speaking that you aligned with for that high money version of you, eventually, by you being it in the darkness where it does not exist, meaning you're acting wealthy, you're thinking wealthy, you're believing wealthy, you're perceiving wealthy, but there is no wealth around you, you continue to do that, eventually the self-belief in you cracks and becomes whole, and then the reality changes. That's where that ceiling is so important, that vibrational barrier that you go through. Those that think everything happens to them think that that barrier is happening to them to keep them down. Those that think everything happens for them look at that barrier and think that barrier allows me to prove that I can transform into my new version of myself and protects from the old frequencies coming up. Because the old energy cannot go through that. So when you level up, that barrier that some people thought was happening to them to keep them down, the ones that think it's happening for them, see that barrier. They make it to the other side because they recognize that the barrier keeps the old frequencies down so that you can actually rise without pulling everything with you. It's all happening for you and your superhero journey. So I know this has maybe been a wild one, a good one, a bad one. I'm not sure what we're talking about here, but you are a superhero. Now, what you want to change to, like now you know that this is possible, is up to you. You can apply this to your finances. You could step into be a multimillionaire, billionaire, right? If you ride with me, you got to be that, right? You can, what's probably most important, apply it to your internal state. So you're aligning in peace and joy and love and alignment with those things that you believe, same thing. You can apply it to your health. You can apply it to anything that you want your experience to be. You recognize that you are the hero in that situation. You recognize that the walls and the things that you face are for you so that you can become the next level and they stop the old level from coming across. Everything starts breaking free and you realize that there is no camera, there is no phone, there is no microphone, there is no home, there is no background. None of that is actually here. None of that is actually permanent. You are observing those things in a reality that you are creating, just as I am, that is shared, and we each have the ability with our consciousness to make it different. That's what's possible for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our deep breath, and this message definitely felt like one of the ones where you're pushing your mind, pushing your belief system, pushing your perspective, right? That's the goal of one of these ones. It wasn't necessarily the raw one to get you there. It's just one to take your thoughts to a different level. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in, and as you breathe in, imagine your mind and what it's able to comprehend. Imagine it expanding just beyond, whatever that means to you, but expanding beyond as you breathe in. As you hold your breath, allow the new space that's been created to fill up with your wisdom, with your perspective, with your energy, with your self-belief. Just allow it to fill in this heightened perspective now that you are encompassing. And as you exhale, release the force that it takes to hold it. Meaning as you release, you let go of it and realize it just stays and you are wiser. You have a higher perspective. You are more evolved. Right? Allow that to be there. Are you ready? Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. It's all happening for us, for our superhero selves. Start looking in the mirror and recognizing I'm a superhero. When you go to eat that food, eat like you're a superhero. When you go to have that conversation like you're a superhero. When you go to do whatever it is, whether it's going to the gym, hanging out with friends, imagine that you are the superhero and hold yourself accountable to that standard and watch your reality change. When you do that, you become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this episode was impactful, gave you a different perspective. This was definitely a fun one. I feel like it's been a little while since I did one that challenged my understanding of something and my ability to explain it, but hopefully we learned together. If you found something impactful, leave a comment. It helps me grow, helps me know what's going on, and of course, it helps the channel expand. You can also subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. I send out an email every single day that an episode comes out with an easy to follow exercise on making the shift into that theme of that message. So if you want to do that, there's thousands of you already there, and it's fun to do it together. There's also some really cool stuff to come, especially with shifting into your millionaire identity, your money identity, your expansive identity, your true identity, like all that's coming. And the first people that are going to hear about it are the ones that are in that email list. Well, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I can't wait to talk to you next time.